maybe then you can start off by just quickly introducing yourself, and then your perspective of the topic, and then we have discussion. Does that sound okay?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Nitin Handa, and I am the owner of 702 Ellsworth Place. And the topic I wanted to discuss today is regarding the fence that is being proposed on the middle field side of my property. That's the topic to be discussed.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and get started?
Okay. So Mr. Tanaka, like if you remember, there was a proposal in the council meeting to reduce the fence on the middle field side to 12 inches
Yes.
and to bring it way inside, like, to bring it in the line of sight, which would basically mean I would lose lot of lot there. I'm already losing my lot, and then I lose even more lot. And can I share my screen also?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay, one second. Let's see if I have the ability. Yeah, okay. Okay. So this is Ellsworth Place, as you see on my screen,
Mhm.
and this side is middle field. So the proposal was to make it, I mean, anything on this side as 12 inch, anything beyond this red line, which basically, it would be very risky for my 4-year-old son. He can just jump in and go to middle field for sure. That's one thing. I think the whole idea behind it so that there could be a line of sight here. But what I'm proposing is, actually, to be honest, it did not make any sense because the transportation department has already given their view that by having a fence even on this black line, if it is about 3 feet high and reasonably transparent,
Mhm.
that's good enough to
Mhm.
cover the risk and to cover any kind of safety issues here. So we are basically proposing. So here is the email from the transport department, Miss Sylvia. This is the city transport, not just the independent consultant.
Mhm.
This is the city transport department. And she does say 3 feet, pull back the fence to 4 feet from the sidewalk. We are okay with what she's proposing. We are okay to pull it back 4 feet from the sidewalk and to make it 3 feet high, 3 feet tall. And what we are actually going a step ahead here, Mr. Tanaka. If you see, I'm trying to open the fence. Actually, even though the transport department did not ask us to make the fence so transparent, we are okay to make it this transparent. I
Mhm.
mean, nobody can say that you can't see through and through from this fence. This is very transparent. So our request is to let us install the fence on the property line, not on the property line, sorry, 4 feet inside the sidewalk, which is
Mhm.
this black line. We are still losing lot here. We are still losing, but we are okay to do it. And we can probably give a little notch here just to give that extra visibility. Not required, though, to be honest. Transport department did not ask for it, but just to make things work, like we have always been trying to make the things work and move ahead on it. We are okay to give a little notch also. Um, that's one option. Second option is if you let us continue straight like this, the same fence that I showed you, straight here, not the notch.
Mhm.
I'm also okay to give another 1 feet of land to the street. So I'll push this further. I think it was 18 inches is what we were giving. We can give another, I think, in my proposal. One second, Mr. Tanaka. Let me be sure. You see the pictures here, how even from this fence you can see through and through.
Mhm.
And the fence I am proposing is even more transparent.
Mhm.
Uh, and one second, we were giving 18 inches. So if you read my proposal, option A, um, you know, I'm okay to give 30 inches, another 12 inches.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's like okay to do this fence, although not required as per the transport department, hugely transparent. You can see through and through. Okay to give another 1 foot. Losing lot in Palo Alto is like, how it feels. It's probably the expensive city in the world,
Sure.
and losing lot is very expensive, and it's not a great feeling. But okay to just to make the things work out here.
Sure.
Hmm. That's my proposal.
Okay. And what has the feedback been from your neighbors?
I mean, neighbors, I don't know. At this stage, we are not in communication anymore
Mm.
because I think they have taken, despite our multiple attempts to, like, bring about a compromise here, talk to them. Mr. Dewey has also met them. I have met them. but seems like they are still pretty hung up on the idea of not letting anything being built here, or even if something is built, then a huge space should be left out. So at this stage, we are not in communication with them anymore.
I see. Okay. Um, and when is this coming back to council?
December 11th.
December 11th. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, one more thing, Mr. Tanaka, one of the impression that everybody in the council got was having that hump on the street makes it more dangerous. It actually makes it less dangerous, that hump, because it slows down the traffic. And
Mm.
this is the opinion given both by the independent consultant, and
Hmm.
also, let me show you, uh, this is the same opinion shared by Miss Sylvia. One second, I'll just open here the email here. So that there was a opposite perception in the council that hump makes it more dangerous. It actually makes the street less dangerous because it forces the vehicles to slow down. And see here is the email confirmation. What I'm sharing here from Amy, she spoke to Miss Sylvia,
Mm.
and I asked Amy to check with Miss Sylvia, on this thing, just to double confirm, and she has already
Mm.
confirmed. Sylvia agrees with Gary. Gary is the independent consultant. As long as
Mm.
the fence is somewhat transparent, we are making it completely transparent, and fence is back from the sidewalk as previously studied, which is 4 feet back from the sidewalk, which
Mm.
we are okay with it.
Okay. Um, so yeah, just out of curiosity, um, like because originally when you guys did this transaction, they told you guys that you could build this place, right? And then there was
Right.
all
Oh,
the
yeah.
issue. Yeah,
Written
what
emails.
did well whatever. I was always curious, like because it wasn't a mistake by staff
Yeah.
or yeah. So what like I guess I'm curious, what recourse do you have? Because it seems like if they said something, right? I mean, it's you kind of relied on it, did you not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's who we rely on. We check with the city, can we build a house? And we have written emails. And in fact, I'm not sure if you were in that specific meeting in one of the pre-meetings, which was just to, gather fact. The very first meeting council had, the vice chair, Mrs. Stone, asked the director of planning, and it's all recorded in YouTube.
Yeah.
He asked him, do you think Mr. Handa could have found this out, that this lot is not eligible to build a single family home? And the director was John was very clear, no, he could not have found it out. It's there in the recording link. I can email you that
Yeah.
specific 1 hour 53rd minute something, and I will send that link to you with that specific time when that question was asked. So it's very open. I mean, city is not trying to hide anything on this. They have accepted their mistake, and yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't seem right to me though. It just um yeah.
Yeah, and like I am paying about 11-12 thousand dollars per month on the financing cost, the property tax. I'm paying everything, and I've already lost 1 year now. I submitted the plans in January of last year,
Yeah.
and now it's again coming to January. So I've already lost about 120,000 on that. Then lost my time, and then attorney fees and all that. So I don't know. I'm down 150K already on this 950K lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think this is the way it should be. Um I think the rules should be more clear. I think there should be a certainty because otherwise you can't you don't know, right? Yeah,
Right.
I mean it's I don't think this is how things should operate.
Not normally, and that's why they accepted their mistake, that they did commit a mistake here by giving the wrong opinion to us, which I understand. Human mistakes can happen, but again, somebody got to compensate me and get this moving now, one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah. Have you talked to other council members?
I've requested a meeting with everybody. The only two folks who came back were you, and the second one was Mr. Lewing. How do you pronounce his name? Ed Lewing.
Yeah,
Ed Lewing, yeah, was the second one. He was okay to talk to me. Although he said he has read my proposal and he understands what I'm saying, but he was okay to talk. No one else came back, and there were twice reminder I have sent. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. what I would suggest you do is um it may be hard, but I would still try to reach out to your neighbors
Hmm.
and just see um because I think I have to look at your thing more closely and I haven't really looked at it yet because I'm worried about tomorrow's council meeting, not next week's.
Right.
So um so I think it would be good for you to try to reach out to your neighbors and just try to talk to them because
So,
if the first time people are talking about this at the council meeting, it's going to be hard, right? So I would try to knock on their door, like email them, just try to see if you can
so
try to because it doesn't
absolutely.
seem what you're doing is that unreasonable, but I don't live there, and so I would suggest you do that. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you remember, but at the council meeting, I asked staff about like, well, how exceptional is your driveway compared to all the other driveways on Middlefield, right? And staff didn't really have an answer to that. And I don't know if I haven't had a chance to look at the staff report yet, but I don't know if they've actually answered that question or not.
What was the question? How my driveway will?
So, so there's a lot of driveways on Middlefield, right?
Hmm.
And how exceptional is your driveway versus all the others? So like I think how many units does this driveway serve? Like how many people, how many cars?
I don't know I think the number of homes I don't remember, maybe 11 or something like that.
Okay, 11 homes, right? Okay. And there's other driveways with probably even more units, right? And so like,
Hmm.
I mean, do they have is their visibility even better? I don't know, right? I mean, I think that would be interesting to have because I doubt it, right? I doubt that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of apartment complexes on Middlefield, right? And I doubt that their visibility, I mean, even though it serves a lot more cars,
Hmm.
so the argument I made at council was that I don't know, like, I mean, are they going, how much above and beyond the Call of Duty are they making you do versus other places on Middlefield, right? Because I
Right.
bet you could go out there and look at a few other properties on Middlefield and find that they serve way more than 11 units, and their
Hmm.
visibility is way worse, right? So,
Hmm. Yeah.
if you have time, I would go out and do that,
Sure.
right?
Sure. I mean, 20 foot is very normal driveway entrance. The code, even for apartment complexes, allow 20 foot. And to be honest, in terms of safety, whether I build a house there or not build a house there, as long as I'm putting this kind of fence, it does not make any difference from the situation that currently is.
Hmm.
Even currently, there is a hump, which actually makes it more safer. Currently, it's 20 foot. You still have to wait
Yeah,
and make before making the turn. And this fence will not make the visibility worse.
yeah,
In fact, for a very long time, there were a lot of bushes there. I was the one who came in and got those bushes removed. None of the neighbor ever complained about that,
yeah,
for a very long time.
yeah,
To be honest, I do feel the safety issue. Again, I mentioned this even in the council meeting. It's to be decided by the city transport department
yeah,
and the independent transport consultant. Because every neighbor will use safety is a very good, easy reason to use to stop a construction. Nobody likes construction next to their house. Everybody want to
yeah.
avoid that. Safety is a very easy thing to play with.
Actually, like so on my street, my across the street neighbor is building something, and
Mhm.
then my one house down from me, my neighbors are building something. And actually, I like it. And the reason why I like it, I want it, is because I want my neighborhood to improve. I think
Right.
it helps my property value if they, I don't want to be next to a house that's falling apart. I want all the houses on my block to look nice, right? So I'm actually happy when
Right.
when I see them fixing the house up. I'm like, oh, that's actually a good thing, right?
Absolutely. That's what I even tried to explain to the neighbors also earlier when we were in communication, that you having a brand new house right on the entrance of your street enhances the value of all houses in the street versus having an open, rough parking lot there.
Yeah,
You know, so but I don't think so that message went across. I don't think that they understood that part.
yeah. Well, I think you need to go knock on your neighbors' doors, try to talk to them, maybe invite them over for a barbecue. I don't know, like do something like that.
We have done those things, but I'll give one more shot to it for
Yeah,
sure.
I
I'll
think
let
I would
you.
do that, and then the other thing I would do is I'd go walk down Middlefield, and you probably don't have to walk very far, and see how many. Because I bet you there's a few driveways that serve way more than 11 units
Right.
that have way more
20.
constricted driveway and have
Right.
way worse visibility.
Right. I agree. Quite possible,
Yeah. So I would go take some photos of that and
Sure.
bring it with you at the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. But I hope you were able to understand my
I do.
proposal.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I keep, like suggesting that you talk to your neighbors is like I've before a council, I served on the planning commission, and one thing I found out just really useful, like there was one project where they were going to expand the senior center, and the neighbors in these townhomes were just really up in arms about it. But they wanted to meet with me. I said, well, if you want to meet, we can all meet together. So we all met together, and it was like the first time they actually talked to each other. And even though they were like crazy mad at each other, at the end, I think they both found out they were, like there are accommodations that can be made that kind of solve the problem. So by the time we had the planning commission meeting, most of the fire had and most of the
Right.
pressure had been let out of the system.
Right.
And so if you're able to, you may not be able to convince them, but at least more of the pressure can
Absolutely.
be let out of the system. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
absolutely. I will reach out back to Christian and other neighbors. I mean, we have done it many times. We have spoken many times. But like I said, even trying to explain basic thing like this will enhance the value of all the homes. Any street where you have a brand new house right on the entrance is far more valuable.
Oh, sorry. I gotta jump to my
Sure.
next office hour, but
Sure.
but thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you, Mr. Tanaka. Okay. Bye bye.